Right. Time out. Hop in and talk about communication with bigger spirits real quick while I'm on the way to go ahead, to the gas station and things, running a little errands and stuff. But we're gonna talk about communication with bigger spirits, you know. So you guys can kind of get the concept and stuff. And it ain't really like nothing you can really write down. Half of the shit is like kind of knowing it. Half of the shit is kind of like, I can tell you. But you can see in reality on how to do this, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, and things. So you got to think about this. Based upon you being a spirit in the body, right? And stuff, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I don't get Christians too, because they kind of need to be into this too. Just based upon y'all claiming that y'all can communicate with something like God or something like that. And based upon y'all saying that, whatever, y'all not even realizing like how things play out in real life and stuff. And that's why your prayers don't really work. Because if your prayers really work, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be praying, your grandma wouldn't be praying the same, that grandma wouldn't be praying, and y'all getting the crumbs and shit like that. So peep game. We talk about communication with bigger spirits and real gods and stuff like that y'all be pointing out so y'all could get into the right context. So let's make this real simple. Okay, so just like you would talk, the reason why humans keep dogs around and stuff like that, and animals and that, because essentially, if they can't necessarily dominate that animal, then that animal is gonna play out in a fashion of, they're already doing something that bigger spirit is doing, likes them to do, wants them to do, or something. You know what I'm saying? So that animal is kind of playing out characteristics of this, what I would do if I was in that situation and stuff. So, for instance, like dogs ain't giving you the characteristics of they'll do everything you do, but they do have characteristics of what you want to do. So you got to look at it like this. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger spirits, they keep people on leashes too. You know what I'm saying? Based upon what y'all would do and what y'all won't do. So essentially, just say it like this. If you had a dog and it was tied up to a leash, right? And then why you got that dog tied up to that leash? Essentially because you don't want them in your house, because essentially you don't want them to get into your shit, start going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because the dog ain't looking at it like, I'm into some shit that's wrong. Or I'm into some shit that, you know what I'm saying, like biting up your socks and, you know what I'm saying, biting up your cords and shit. They ain't looking at it like that. They just like, man, I'm just trying to chase this excitement. I'm just trying to be into some shit. You know what I'm saying? So what you do, you put them on a chain. So you put them on a chain and, they not knowing why they not free, but essentially it's because of the actions that they showed you that made you put them on the chain in the first place. So you putting that dog on that chain, they might feel like, okay, man, I want to get into some shit. I can't get into some shit. I can't get, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So you're not really necessarily going to do that, and the human can't communicate to you as the lower spirit or whatever, or as a dog. It can, but it might not understand you, and the dog can't communicate to you like, man, I'm not gonna get into your shit. I'm not gonna get into your socks or whatever. So the dog would have to kind of come to his own conclusion of it don't want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But until it takes that stance or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna be doing dog shit. So essentially, you know what I'm saying, how you communicate with a bigger spirit or a broader spirit in your context is more so being like them. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you know, then not necessarily saying, because you're not going to be that, because you, whatever spirit is in your body, but, you know what I'm saying, you have to kind of more so be like them, like show actions like them, you know what I'm saying? And then when they deem, okay, that's responsible enough, you know what I'm saying, then they might take your leash off, because you, whatever you doing, you know what I'm saying, you might not look at it like, oh, when I do this action, you know, against God or whatever you make up in your head, I'm biting up the socks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm biting up the socks, I'm biting up God's socks, I'm biting up, you know what I'm saying? You might not look at it like that. But just like a dog ain't looking at it like that, you in your little ass human ass context and looking at it like that too. Not saying that, you know, each one is powerful than the next, because, you know what I'm saying, it's just based upon awareness and perspective and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Based upon awareness and perspective, and what perspective, you know, you can come to, you know, that can help each one. So nothing is like truly ultimately better or something like that. Like they be trying to make it like whatever, they be calling God like a man or something like that. It ain't that. Everything, learning from everything. But you know, you communicate with bigger spirits and stuff like that by being more like them. You get what I'm saying? So, or being as they are. And you're not gonna be able to be that thing in this lifetime, because you're not that thing. But you know what I'm saying, if you can be like that thing, you know what I'm saying, that thing, you know what I'm saying, is gonna be what you create in the spiritual realm as access to as access to see, okay, you know what I'm saying, this person can play out these types of situations. You know what I'm saying? This person get beat, and then they'll see, okay, you know what I'm saying, now they understanding what you trying to present, or what you trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. You gotta think about it like that. So all of y'all that's just praying and stuff like that, and just talking to God like God understand y'all in y'all language or something like that, that's cap. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, God only understand creation and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? God understand creation and how things work and stuff, and how things get done, and what can we make more out of and shit like that. That's the language God understand. Not you asking God to do something for you and shit like that. God gonna look at your ass like your little dog. You know what I'm saying? He gonna look at your ass like, and it ain't a he, but you know, it's just how y'all use it. If that was a thing, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't be human, first of all, and it would look at your ass. Yeah. It ain't a thing, first of all, and it would look at your ass like you a fucking puppy or something like that. Like, huh? Like, what are you trying to communicate? And stuff like that. Oh, you want to get off to bite up my shit? No, not right now, little doggy. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, in some context, if you ain't getting off the leash, you know what I'm saying, like you want to and stuff like that, God ain't seeing you as responsible. You know what I'm saying? You ain't being like God. You know what I'm saying? You ain't creating. You ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't, like I said, not to say that man is man is God over dog, but you know what I'm saying? God is just the ability, all possibilities and stuff like that. Mhm. But yeah, it's, so if you don't know how to communicate in that language and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't get what I'm saying? So it's like that. Um, why would God take you off the leash? You get what I'm saying? If you don't know how to communicate or be like God and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be real intentional on what you're doing and stuff like that. And a lot of these things that y'all trying to be like, you know what I'm saying, or get from whatever y'all trying to be like, y'all not really being like that. Y'all not really being that. Y'all trying to get something but not be that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know the difference and stuff. But communicating with spirits on a broader level. I'm to go ahead and get the fuck up out of here. I had a message and shit. I'm seeing too many names and titles right now. But yeah, that's essentially it, though. You know what I'm saying? So a spirit that don't make sense. A spirit in no reality, because that's what God got to come through if it's real, right? In no reality does anything that ain't of the same nature and shit like that know how to understand, you know what I'm saying, the other language. Unless even like parrots and shit, they don't really understand, they just mimicking. You know what I'm saying? So, but you see, once they do that, you be like, oh, they like us. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? You be like, okay, that mean that thing is like us. No, it just know how to mimic you to some sort of extent, because it's either training to become what you are, a human or something like that, or whatever. So when we talk about, you know what I'm saying, becoming more like what we really trying to become is, men and women and stuff like that, esoterically speaking and shit, this is the context that we need to be in, you know what I'm saying? And essentially, y'all be trying to come men and women. Thoughts, the ideas that you got in your head, you know what I'm saying? Them are on a different frequency, vibration. You know what I'm saying? So they not into the dense world because they haven't manifested to where you gotta actually play that out in the physical to become that thing. You know what I'm saying? You actually gotta play that out, that thought out. You know what I'm saying? That feeling out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we trying to become down here, men and women. We not that. You know what I'm saying? We into some type of situation where, the body is being utilized, to become that. Other than that, you would be that. No questions asked. Now, your spirit ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? But your spirit make out what it make. So if it's making out to be, you know what I'm saying, what it's going to be, then it's going to be that. But as far as, just talking with bigger spirits and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, ain't no spirit letting nothing off the leash. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's acting more like it and shit like that. If it ain't promising that it ain't finna bite some shit up or get into some shit that it know that bigger spirit, that more intelligent spirit, know it ain't about to get into, you know what I'm saying, then whatever. That's what it is. So this is how, y'all can be kind of controlled from oversouls, from, you know what I'm saying, from spirits like oversouls that be, like having intellectual properties, because spirits like me, we look at that like y'all on a leash. You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't wanna be like God. You know what I'm saying? Y'all rather, you know what I'm saying, y'all rather stay on the leash and thing. Because every time God take you off and give you the opportunity to show up like God, man, God be like, man, put that motherfucker back on the leash. You know what I'm saying? Put that spirit back on that goddamn leash, biting up everything and shit like that. They don't even know no better. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna get that type of presence if it ain't in that context where you being like them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be like, oh God, please make me more like you and shit like that. That spirit, whatever you calling that, your higher self, don't even understand that way. It's either you gonna be like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, please make me more. No, it ain't gonna understand that. Shout out to Limitless Existence. It ain't gonna understand that crap that you spewing, that barking that you doing. Get that barking out of here. It's either you gonna find some way to become aware that you one of the smartest dogs and be showing some type of behavior and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That at least make the owner want to get you trained or something. It gotta be something, like you gotta be hard. Like you gotta be hard in all spiritual realms of reality. I made it. That's how I made it to human. I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why y'all see me making it to my 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional form and shit like that, which is my spiritual power, basically. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you doing all that barking and stuff like that. You know, God don't understand that. God don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think God gonna understand you doing all that? No, you gotta be like God. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you gotta do it. Put it into that context. But yeah, man, that was it. I don't want to make the message too long. But yeah, that's how you communicate with bigger spirits and shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like them. You know what I'm saying? How is y'all got just a human like y'all that can understand y'all language? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. That's why y'all blessings don't go nowhere. Or whatever y'all asking for, you know what I'm saying? Get totally opposite from it. Or something you don't like and stuff like that, because God don't understand that language. Only thing God understands is if you showing God actions of that you like it and stuff. And then at that point, you probably don't even need God because you in the space that God in. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't even need God because you in the space that God in, and that's where God be at. You know what I'm saying? So if you in the space of God, now you doing the real Bible shit that they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Now you doing that real, now you doing it for real. So yeah, man, y'all got to think about shit. You know what I'm saying? And before we get into that, a lot of y'all can't get past y'all God, that astrology and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that would rule that. Y'all can't even be like that. You know what I'm saying? Play out the transits and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Too busy lost it to your own chakra. So this is why it's important people get into these things, because it's always space within space, man. It's always something bigger and better to become and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But without spiritual intelligence and intellect, you ain't gonna understand none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is how you talk to bigger spirits and stuff like that. You know, on the leash. You know, get off the leash and shit. You know what I'm saying? God don't understand that barking. Shit. But yeah, I'm out of here, man. Peace out. Get y'all ass to the game.